Okay. For those watching at home, the cops are being called, we think. We have shown up here at Whole Foods in support of the way they've been treating some of their African-American employees. They were asked to take Black Lives Matter masks off their face at work or go home. Of course, they have to wear masks because it's COVID, but they can't have masks that say Black Lives Matter, apparently. So we came to support them. We think it's bullshit. We do not think that Black Lives Matter is a political statement. Black Lives Matter is a humanitarian statement. It is a public safety issue. It is a livelihood. Black Lives Matter is a right. Black Lives Matter is a movement. Black Lives Matter needs to have awareness. It is not a political statement. People should feel the need and the support to stand beside something as pivotal as this. Black Lives Matter is completely a racial issue. It has nothing to do with politics. It's either you're racist or you're not racist. So we are currently here at Whole Foods to show support for our individuals who want to support us. Their employers have not allowed them to show their support, so we're here with them. This is our first pop-up protest, unannounced location. We are here in the community. We support the community. We stand with the community. So we are currently at Whole Foods, location on Oleander, reminding them people over profit. At the end of the day, the person who works for you, the color of their skin, their safety, their personal well-being is more important than your political stance. Because Black Lives Matter is not a political party. Black Lives Matter is literally a humanitarian stance. That's all. That's why we're here to remind the people here at Whole Foods that Black Lives Matter because it needs to be discussed. It needs to be discussed. Your job should not be in jeopardy because you support Black Lives Matter. Your job should not be in jeopardy because you stand with your brothers and sisters who are getting excessively murdered and singled out and hurt and chased down and time after time and time after again. Your job should not be on the line. Your job should stand with you. And if your job doesn't stand with you, your job is part of the systemic problem. The violence that...
I could ask you guys to kindly, peacefully move to the edge of the property.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're leaving Whole Foods now. They've asked us to leave. We knew this would happen.
People over profit.
But still, people over profit.
People over profit.
We are going to be here till 3:30. We are here till 3:30, reminding the community that we stand with you. Because it's people over profit. I am a paying customer. I bought ice. I am a paying customer, so I have the right to be here. And we're going to remind them.
People over profit.
Day one of pop-up protest. Day one of pop-up protest. There are many more to come throughout July. So remember.
People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit.
This gentleman has asked us to leave, so we're going to step outside now.
People over profit. 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 People over profit.
Making sure we leave. Day one of pop-up protesting. We're all out here on the steps. Well, not steps. Front lobby area thing or what have you.
Everything, if you're going to smoke, you need to smoke along the sidewalk around the property. All over the floor. Let's find it.
Okay, we're looking for signage. I don't know, something about signage.
For the health of our neighborhood.
Says it doesn't permit it on their property, so us cigarette smokers have to step to the sidewalk.
Correct. You guys are more than welcome to protest along the outside of the perimeter of the property on the sidewalk. Anything else within the property, you have to choose. Stay on.
All right. So they asked us to move to the sidewalk, said we're not allowed to protest on the premises. This is a really big ass parking lot though. So their premises stops at this parking lot. I feel like if we move to that part of the parking lot, we're not on their property. Hey you guys, I feel like if we move right there, we're not in front of their building or on their property. Learning Expo. But Learning Expo might actually support us, so we can go stand in front of Learning Expo and just protest you guys. Yeah, unless they ask us to leave, we'll stand in front of Learning Expo. Come on, you guys, we're gonna stand in front of Learning Expo and protest Whole Foods because Learning Expo hasn't kicked us out yet. And I do say yet because, you know, they could come out and say Black lives don't matter. And if so, you friendly people will be watching along at home. Because Whole Foods has said that. Whole Foods said Black lives don't matter, but they'll take Black people's money. Yeah, even this gentleman with the face mask said, oh yeah. Profit over people. Right? Profit over people. They'll take Black people's money and they'll cash their checks, but they won't make a stance with them. So let's look at our line. This is Learning Expo. The building separates, so you guys, let's not pass the trash can. And until, they're closed. So we can protest right here. Thank you, Learning Expo. If you don't stand with us on Monday, sorry, we were here today. So we are gonna be right here in front of Learning Expo because that's not Whole Foods parking lot, it's Learning Expo's parking lot, and they're closed today. So we're gonna stand right here and we're gonna protest because Whole Foods Market, their official name, cares more about people than, care more about profit than their people. And this is their own employees. These are the people shopping there. Like I said, they're perfectly comfortable taking Black people's money. As you guys saw in my video, there were several people of color in there shopping because Whole Foods is a very healthy option. And they source so many products from North Carolina. They're a very local company and we would like to like them. But the fact they don't stand with us, we can't like them. The fact that they are trying to silence their employees' rights as humanitarians, we don't like them. So we are out here. This is our very first pop-up protest brought to you by the board of LCL in support with the Whole Foods employees. Everybody, say hello. This is our board. So when I say we stand with our community, we stand with our community. We are here with the employees. They called, we answered. We are here, but if you want a healthy Whole Foods option, healthy option versus Whole Foods, go to Title Creek. Title Creek has rocked with us and supported us since day one. They have co-op memberships. You can become part of a larger family. I actually give a damn about you because you know what? Black lives do fucking matter. Like I said, we're hanging out here at Whole Foods, protesting their racist ass until 3:30. Today is Community Day, so the board took it upon themselves to stand by our community members in support. Community Day, we are here. Also, the cops just pulled up, so I'm going to pass my phone to somebody else to record because I'm 90% sure they're coming to talk to us.
Let's not forget that Whole Foods is a subsidiary of Amazon.
Oh, did you hear that, Jeff? We're protesting you too, bitch. And it does pain me because Amazon is really affordable. And it comes directly to your house.
Well, Amazon itself, they're okay with the Black Lives Matter.
Can we zoom in on this gentleman? He's making sure the police officers find us. Oh, is it Megan?
Is it?
It's Megan. Megan. Hey, we know Megan. Megan speaks. If you guys remember, 3 Tuesdays ago, Megan was the one who told us we were in violation and our peaceful protest, our sit-in in the middle of the street, was illegal. Megan was the one who cited us. Megan's also the one who tried to get us arrested. This is Megan.
Succeeded
Hi,
in my
Megan.
case.
Oh yeah, succeeded in 5 people.
Yeah, no, I didn't say to arrest any of you. I just read the ordinance. Did you guys get permission from Whole Foods to be here on their property?
We're not on their property anymore. We've moved. They asked us to leave and we did leave. When he told us to leave, we left.
We all left.
Okay, they did ask you.
Yep, the gentleman asked us and we left.
That's just what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, totally. When he asked us
That's
to
why
leave,
we're here.
I walked around, gathered, and we walked out, and then he asked us not to stand in front of their building, so we stepped. We're in front of Learning Express,
All right,
and they're
cool.
closed today. They can't object to us.
That's fine.
Unless they
That's
call
cool.
us.
I just didn't know who had called in about it, and I wanted to make because
I think it was that gentleman right over there.
I don't even really care as long as they don't care you're here.
Yeah.
I don't care you're here.
The guy in the blue asked us to step from in front of the building, so we walked
this
away.
side?
The gentleman right there, so we walked off their property.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Loopholes, man. Loopholes. It's always a fucking loophole.
Know your rights.
Know your rights. I always say educate yourself. I did not mean to cut you off stage. Sage, if you can express, tell them the importance of knowing where you stand. That was my bad. I think that's that.
So the best thing about our rights is they are given to us by the founding fathers. We have these rights to express, and we should utilize those rights as much as we can. Unfortunately, in today's society, they like to take those rights away from us. And
Because they don't properly educate you in school, and they think that you just don't know. They rely on you to go to the internet and find things, but they make it hard. So it's super, super important for you to do your due diligence and go and find that information that's out
Read
there.
the statutes. Make sure you understand what the statutes say. For example, they tried to kick us off the medians when we were near the statues, citing a statute that says you may not linger or loiter in the median for the purpose of soliciting employment or rides. We were holding signs. We were not asking for jobs or rides. 3 days in a row, they kept trying to use that statute to boot us off the median. And every time, one of us who understood what it said called them out on their bullshit and went right back to the median, which is when they put the curfew around the statues, and then gave us a 3-foot perimeter where if we went in it was trespassing. And then finally they removed them because fuck them statues.
It is. That's why we're here.
We actually pay.
Yeah, and our taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
We pay too.
Our taxpayer dollars is what keeps us fed. So anyone that says that they got a badge number works for me. They work for you.
Right.
And the reason why is because we were born into debt through a social security number. Did you know that there is a Taurus society? They have a society built off of zodiacs where you have to buy yourself back from the world. I'm just letting y'all know, okay? So if y'all ain't ready to go to war, guess what we about to do? We about to starve, okay? We about to be on foot.
Bye.
I've been to 45 places in 4 days, broke my ankle looking for a job.
That's what's like, I bet it's Megan. Oh, look at Megan. Look at Megan. They're coming back. Look at Megan.
You know what I'm talking
Well, I have no idea. I started live streaming, so I don't know if people said
People over profit. People over profit. People over profit.
People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit.
People over profit. People over profit.
People over profit.
People over profit.
People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit.
People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit. People over profit.
People over profit.
People over profit. People over profit.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
It is a moral imperative.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
That part.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. I have some masks in my car. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Yeah. Did they actually try to say that us moving around is threatening? Because we're through?
Black Lives Matter is not a humanitarian, it's not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement.
It is a humanitarian movement.
Yeah, I'm definitely not wrong.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Go to Tidal Creek.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Go to Tidal Creek.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black people.
lives. Oh, sorry.
Black lives. You're right. Unfortunately, they do support Black people because they do employ them. They just don't support Black lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
Wait, say what just happened.
Told us we need to take our mask off or go home.
Were you working?
Yep.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement. And Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
All of the front-end team members who were wearing masks just walked out. So
the what?
the front-end team members who were just wearing masks, they're all just walked out, so they're about to be out here shortly.
Cool. Are they leaving off work?
They were sent home.
They were told what?
And Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Yeah, guys.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
The people walking towards us right now are some of the ones that got asked to leave for wearing their Black Lives Matter masks while on the clock.
But it was the whole front of house.
The whole one?
The whole front too.
How are you doing, my boy? Long time. How long you been here?
Black Lives Matter is not
A political statement.
Humanitarian movement.
And Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and
Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come get 5 or 6 protein bowls that expired for like a year and a half.
Black Lives Matter
Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Bringing out vegan food for we got the
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement.
It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support black lives. Hell, they just kicked out all their front-end members who were wearing Black Lives Matter masks, telling them you gotta take it off or you gotta leave. Why are you shopping there, people? Fuck Whole Foods. Go to Tidal Creek.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement.
And Whole Foods does not support black lives.
Bye, Megan. Bye-bye. See you next time. I'll see you tomorrow.
We barely knew you.
Shit, some of us know it really well.
When everyone literally just walk in a direct route to walk out and say the exact same thing. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives Matter. Walk out. One at a time. Count to 10 and then follow the next person in.
Hold on.
Wait for the cops to keep going.
Let more people know about this.
That's why before they turned off, I was watching. Everybody, come together, please.
Tighten up.
We would like to do one more lap. What we're going to do is we're going to stagger it. Counting to 10 may take too long. Count to 7. One go in, count to 7. Next one go in, count to 7. Next one go in, count to 7. and then we're going to say the chant that we're saying outside. Literally just go in and walk out. We're not shopping, we're not perusing. It's a direct route. Just the biggest route you can if you have to loop the building or go up and down 1 or 2 aisles. We're just going through and we're saying Black Lives Matter is not a political statement, it's a humanitarian, and hopefully it's not support Black lives.
I think those of us that are currently employed
Yeah, no, you
Yeah,
guys
it was like,
are
no, I just want you to commit as comfortable as you are, definitely. Only comply with comfortable drugs. This is mainly for my board members.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do, ban us? I'll shop here anyway.
arrest us. Okay, I'll be out. Let's go.
This week, Cliff.
Yeah, you need to get your citation for the week.
How many people will be participating? 1, 2.
Actually, I'm scared.
Okay, so there's 7 of us that go in. So at 1:35, start the chant. Who was calling? 5. Again, count to 7 and stack right behind him at 1:35.
When we come out, are we going to come out and we're probably just going to leave, right, at that point?
No, we're staying here till 3:30. You just have to come back over to the side. Are you ready? At 1:35, we're going to start the chant. That way it gives us time to get in there. So that's like in 5 minutes. Yeah. So go ahead and walk in today. And then at 1:35 on the dot, we all start chanting.
Dude, that's a very long time from now.
That's a long time from now.
What? 5 minutes?
35.
That's 6 minutes. That's how long it took them to kick us out last time.
So do you want to just go ahead and start chanting?
Go ahead and start fucking chanting. If we
Okay, go ahead. Okay, focus. Because we're getting ready to get kicked out of here. We know this. So go in and start chanting. As you enter the doors, go ahead and start chanting. This is a direct route. Walk in and walk out. Because you know they're going to kick us out, but walk in, walk out, and get back over here.
Yep, don't wait.
They're still going to kick you out. All right, everyone cycle through. You guys ready? Not a political statement. It's a humanitarian movement. Okay, I might need you to take me downtown. Thank you for your protest. Oh, you're welcome, baby.
Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods, Black Lives. Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives. Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives. Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives.
Black Lives Matter is not a political statement.
It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives.
Black Lives Matter
Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives.
Black Lives Matter
Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black Lives.
Black Lives Matter.
So, I hear you. I appreciate you. Right? I get it. I have to ask you to leave.
Black Lives Matter
Is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black lives. Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian movement, and Whole Foods does not support Black lives.
I'm about to head downtown to the 4th of July march, because fuck July, and I'm going to go support Black Lives Matter and a couple of the speakers there. So I appreciate
The rest
you guys.
of us
Thank
are
you
staying,
so
though.
very much. I support you every single day. Call me if you need me again. 4th of July was a great way to introduce our pop-up protest because we stand in solidarity with our community. Please know this is not a publicity stunt. This is not a political statement. We rock with you, and thank you guys for rocking with us. Everyone else is hanging out here. I'll see you guys downtown. Thank you. Love you guys. It's a short march. We're going to go to 1898 and down to NS. Yes, I'll stay for Community Day. All right.
I'm taking her. All right, Lily's a busy woman, so we're taking her to the BLM 4th of July event if you want to attend.
We're meeting at the 1898 Memorial, and we're going to walk in solidarity down to City Hall / Ennis Park, where we're going to speak on. There's about 4 or 5 speakers. We're going to have about 3 or 4 minutes each. So come see us there. That's where we're headed now. For those of you who are already down at City Hall, and looking for us, we do have our information tent set up, but we are doing Community Day. So we're actually in Bicentennial Park right now, giving some food out with a couple of other community organizations. So we have a busy 4th of July Saturday. I mean, it's all about Community Day. Our first pop-up protest, unannounced locations, fun things like this are going to keep happening. And so yeah, like I said, if you're at home or if you're mobile and you're not doing anything, meet me downtown, 4th of July March and Community Day. For those of you perusing and you want to do a pop-up protest, we're here at Whole Foods till about 3:30, quarter to 4. Then we're meeting back down at City Hall from 4 to 5. We're getting our dinner together because we are taking it out to the homeless communities. We're going to make sure that they're well fed. We're going to go to the one by Target and the one by the Boys and Girls Club downtown. So like I said, if you guys want to see what we're out here doing, get out here with us. I'll catch you. We'll go live once Josh gets back here. Also, Evan's on his way to meet us at one of these locations. But either way, you guys, we're out here. See you soon.